Hey there, I'm Jessie Reens, founder of the Longevity Lodge, and I just wanted to go over a little bit of my intention for the Lodge and share with you guys a little bit of my story and background in case it's maybe helpful for other people who are experiencing the same thing or needing a little support. So my background is personal training for over the last 15 years or so, and I dove into the functional movement systems, which is addressing the misalignments in the musculoskeletal system. From there, I started to incorporate some of or understand, I guess, the basis of some of the mental and emotional things that my clients were experiencing and how that was manifesting physically in their body. And then my clients were also really starting to, they were asking me questions and coming to me and looking to me for some answers that I really didn't have for them. They were mostly active agers that I ended up working with, and loved that group. And my clients, they were asking me, telling me that their doctor was wanting to prescribe pills or surgery and have them do surgery or do the shots, the injections in their joints. And they were oftentimes feeling hopeless and feeling like they didn't really want to do that, but that there was no other options. And I think sometimes there's a good time and place for all that for different people and what they're experiencing. But I think that I really began to find how important it was to be able to explore other routes and avenues for them. My suggestion to them at the time was, go try other things, because they would also say well, my daughter recommended I go see this chiropractor. Should I do it? Or I was told I need to go try acupuncture. Should I try that? Or I was told maybe I should do yoga. Should I do yoga? And I would just say to them, go try it, go do it, see if it works for you, and then come back and let me know how it was, and just, there's no harm in going and trying it. And so I would try to encourage them to seek other avenues or other outlets or other things that might be of benefit to them, so that they didn't feel so helpless or that they didn't have any options. So my goal and my focus with the Longevity Lodge became helping people feel empowered over their own body, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I started to understand the importance, especially in my own life, with my own struggle with stress and overwhelm and anxiety and insomnia because of the overwhelm and anxiety. I started to understand the importance of going within and working within. So now I call it a work in rather than a workout. So, people had asked me, previous clients and people close to me had said, you should go back to personal training. You were so good at it. You did, you really did good at it. You should do it again. And my answer to that is that I'm still involved in that aspect, so to speak. I'm still, I've gotten recertified as a personal trainer. I'm still certified as a personal trainer, and I enjoy that, but not to undermine personal trainers and the incredible work that they do and service that they provide their clients. But I became a lot more intrigued and fascinated and inspired to help facilitate a work in rather than a workout. So the workout to me is that anyone can download an app and do a workout, watch a YouTube video for any kind of workout they're interested in doing. Go for a walk, go for a run, go for a hike. There's access to do all that, ride their Peloton or whatever they have at home. And then of course, healthy eating habits, and everybody knows what they should be doing for themselves. And they know that most people want to be doing those things for themselves. But I became more fascinated with the question of why. Why were they not intrinsically motivated to do those things? Or why were they struggling to accomplish the things that they felt like they needed or wanted to incorporate into their life for their well-being? And that led me into coaching. And I benefited personally from coaching to help me process some things that I was really struggling with. I didn't know that I had certain beliefs about myself, about how I was in the world, and I was able to shift those beliefs and shift my energy and my perspective through life transformational coaching. And so that inspired me to get involved in coaching. The other piece that I really gravitated towards with the functional movement systems was the body itself. And so now I'm incorporating a lot more of myofascia. I've been doing a lot of practice with the myofascia release and understanding how the trauma and pain and memory that's stored in the myofascia, how doing specific techniques and exercises and breath work, incorporating breath work is another huge one, to release not only the musculoskeletal system, but the energy blocks there and some of the trauma that may be stored and blocking us. So I think that as a society as a whole, we've become so like in our culture, we've become so outward looking. So and comparing ourselves to others and having certain expectations and placing a lot of pressure on ourselves, because it's this culture and this perspective of you've got to have this car and you have to be, have this house and you have to be doing this kind of work and you have to be this kind of person and you have to, do all these things that are outward in order to be good enough, in order to be loved, in order to be, not a, fear of failure is a huge one, and not be a failure. But I think that it's what's causing a lot of our issues, our mental health issues, and that also cultivating our physical pain and discomfort that we're also experiencing because of this constant belief system and perspective that is all outward looking, material based, and it's sort of like it's creating the disease ultimately is my perspective on it. So my passion and mission has become the work in. And what I'm cultivating is the breath work, the EFT, which I've become certified in, emotional freedom technique. So the tapping, that was huge for me, going through and releasing the meridian to redirect the energy and unblock meridian pathways. And then helping to work through stuck emotions or heavy, deep, dark emotions that may come up through someone's journey with this, and then helping support them and coach them through that. And then also coming out on the other end to, once we're in those higher elevated emotions where we're feeling inspired and intuitive and have greater awareness of ourselves, and we've discovered what our true truth is, our inner truth, because we've gone within to look for it. We discover what we value and not what someone else has placed on us as a value. We just discover what we want our life to look like, and that's where the life design coaching comes in. So that is my mission and my goal, and to address the physical as well as the mental and emotional and do the inner work. I think that is so important for each of us, and I couldn't think of a better gift or way to be able to provide that and make an impact and hopefully help others through their journey with that. So I really like to emphasize the work in, and it can feel so foreign for people to go within, to sit down and meditate and breathe and actually feel their body and explore what's there and kind of get these different sensations, and then maybe some even emotions that come up. But going through the process is so helpful for releasing, evolving, and growing. And I think it's really important to have support in that. I think that it's vital, and I think that it's definitely where humanity is. It's a good place to head, I think, for us all, and in this way we can help to inspire others, and the more that we can go within, we can cultivate a sense of a greater sense of awareness, a greater shine our light, our own light brighter, and our own spirit brighter, and connect with what our higher selves and universe or God or whatever you want to call it has really in mind for us and for our life. And ultimately that's why we experience the pain and the discomfort, is because we're so pulled away from that. We're so disconnected from what our higher self, our universal unconditional love and God would want our life experience to be like. And of course we have to experience the lower vibrational emotions, so some of the things that we perceive as negative, like sadness and grief and fear. That contrast is important for us to have the gratitude and the full experience of the high vibrational emotions like love and gratitude and inspiration and creativity and intuition, all those things. But when we're activating parasympathetic nervous system, which is a huge one that I want to help people be able to do and create more of that time for themselves and cultivate that more in their life. So going within to create that that sense of inner peace. And if you haven't done a whole lot of it, I can say that it's really comforting, and it becomes a place that you crave. And it helps to create a little more awareness, so that you're sort of just observing yourself through life and through the lower, harder emotions, and you have a sense of comfort or a little more ease through those more difficult, challenging times. And so when you're faced with the day-to-day tasks, daily challenges, as well as big life changing challenges and devastating things that come up in life, we all experience it and we all need support in it. That you're able to bounce back a little bit quicker, you're able to get through it a little bit quicker, or a little, I want to say it with a little more ease. And obviously we have to give ourselves that grace and the time to process through those things. But when we've helped strengthen our nervous system by activating in parasympathetic nervous system, which is our repair, rest, and digest, and elevated ourselves to a new baseline of high emotions, high level emotions, high vibrational emotions like positivity and compassion and love and joy and gratitude, etc. All those things, it being our new baseline when we go to the other emotions and we process through them, it's a little bit, we can do it with a little more ease and come back from them a little bit quicker. So that is my mission. That's my goal, is to help all of us establish a new baseline with our inner work, and be a support and a guide for that, so that people can that place can be somewhere that they want to go regularly, and they can really pull from and have their whole life experience through that. And I think that a lot of our anxiety and stress and overwhelm comes from this constant outward looking and comparing ourselves to others, and the expectations that we think that others have of us. And we've probably lived with those things for a long time. We may not even know what some of them are, but once we start to go within, then we can uncover our own truth, what our own values are, what our own passion and inspirations are for our life, and then we can start living our life by those values and not someone else's. Living our life through our own guidance system and our own values, our own core values, and not someone else's. And that's where we're going to start to find and cultivate inner peace and feel more whole and more authentic in our life, and not feel this like pull where we're pulled this way but we really feel this way. That's a huge one, I think. I struggled with that for a long time. Still do, we're constantly doing the work, constantly evolving and growing. And so my mission now is not the workout. We can all do a workout. My mission and vision is to help cultivate the work in the inner work and be a support for that. So if y'all are interested or needing help with something like that, my goal for the lodge and the YouTube channel and some of the social media is to help with, I've got some great interviews coming up with alternative. I don't like the word alternative, but that's how we relate to it. So in our language, language-wise, we know what it means when we say alternative healing modalities, Eastern medicine, all of that. But I have some really great interviews coming up and scheduled. So with really amazing Eastern medicine techniques, healers, and practitioners of all different spectrums. So you guys get to hop on those and learn about all of that with me. And then if you're wanting to connect with myself and work with coaching, my coaching is life design, but we go so deep into so many different aspects and areas of life. One of the things that I'm creating and doing is the workshops. So those are really mini, but really powerful. And the next one coming up, Grateful Heart, is going to be amazing. So it's incorporating the body, the movement, the release of the energy, and then going into tapping into some of the wisdom and knowledge that's there. So that's the other piece that I'll be diving into more, is I'm working with a lot of myofascia release techniques to release the trauma that may be stored in the energy blocks within the body's energy systems and the fascia, which we know can store a lot of memory and trauma. And then being able to release that, reset it, and then go in, and if there's deep, heavy emotions that get uncovered from that work, then being able to have support and process through those emotions, and then come through on the other side where we're recreating and redesigning our life, and not having less piled on us. The other thing that I'm really inspired to help cultivate, and message that I'd like to spread, is the perspective that life is happening through us and for us. So life happening through us, and it being in support of us at all times, 100% of the time, instead of this victim perspective where we feel like life is happening to us and that we don't have any say or control in it. And that's where that whole piece of taking precedence over your own body, your own emotional state and well-being, having other outlets and avenues and people and things, tools and techniques and practices to turn to in order to help cultivate and re-energize, heal your own body. And once we open up those other avenues and we know we have other routes that we can take, we don't feel so hopeless, and we can start to feel empowered over our own well-being. And that's ultimately going to help create our life longevity. So our well-being longer throughout our life. So longevity being that we're going to be able to live whatever lifespan it is that we live, but that lifespan, however long or short, is full of well-being. So that being the longevity piece, and the longer we can live with higher level emotions and vibrations, and we create greater well-being for ourselves and for others, then that is where we get some awesome longevity for our life. So that's the goal, and helping to spread and cultivate that. So go download the apps, work with the trainer, do the workouts, and when you're ready for the work in and making those shifts and getting unstuck where you may be blocked, and having support and guidance through that, connect with me, because I would love to help you through that process. And I'll be doing the myofascial release work, we'll be doing the organ reset work, doing the breath work to realign and re-energize the body's energy systems, get the energy unblocked. So that's all going to incorporate breath work and movement, and then the other piece of it being the mental and emotional and mindset